Danger. U.S. and Allied war fleets challenge China in Taiwan Strait. War inevitable. Tensions in East Asia have reached a boiling point as the United States and its allies intensify naval operations in the Taiwan Strait, directly challenging China's claims over the strategic waterway. In a bold display of military presence, U.S. and Allied warships have transited the strait in recent weeks, signaling a message of deterrence to Beijing. The move comes amid growing fears that the region could soon be the epicenter of a major international conflict. Strategic show of force. The latest naval transit involved a coalition of warships from the United States, Japan, Australia, and the United Kingdom nations that have increasingly aligned their Indo-Pacific security strategies. The U.S. Navy's Arleigh Burke-class destroyers were joined by Japanese maritime self-defense force vessels and British and Australian frigates. These operations were labeled as Freedom of Navigation Operations, FONOPs, aimed at upholding international law and ensuring the Taiwan Strait remains open to all. Pentagon officials stated that the passage was carried out in accordance with international maritime law, especially the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS. However, Beijing strongly disagrees, arguing that the strait falls under its territorial waters. China's response: escalating threats. In response to the joint naval maneuvers, China's People's Liberation Army Navy, PLAN, and its Eastern Theater Command launched live-fire drills near Taiwan and mobilized dozens of warplanes and naval vessels. Chinese state media labeled the foreign warships as provocative intrusions, and the Chinese Foreign Ministry accused Washington of stirring up trouble and undermining peace and stability in the region. Beijing maintains that Taiwan is a part of China, and that any foreign military activity near the island is a violation of its sovereignty. China's One China policy remains the cornerstone of its foreign relations, and the U.S.'s growing engagement with Taiwan is viewed as a red line that cannot be crossed without consequences. Taiwan caught in the crossfire. While the geopolitical titans flex their military might, Taiwan, a self-governed democracy of 23 million people, finds itself in an increasingly precarious position. Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen has welcomed international support, emphasizing the island's right to defend itself and maintain partnerships with democratic allies. However, the constant Chinese military pressure, including daily airspace incursions, has strained Taiwan's defenses and raised public anxiety about a potential invasion. Recent intelligence from both U.S. and Taiwanese officials suggests that China could attempt a blockade or military assault on Taiwan by the late 2020s. While not guaranteed, the timeline aligns with China's rapid military modernization and President Xi Jinping's declared goal of national reunification. Is war inevitable? The situation in the Taiwan Strait is now regarded as one of the world's most dangerous flashpoints. With both sides ramping up military activity, the risk of accidental confrontation or miscalculation is alarmingly high. Even a minor incident such as a naval collision or unintentional firing could spiral into a broader conflict. However, many experts argue that war is not yet inevitable. The U.S. and its allies are walking a fine line, demonstrating strength and commitment to Taiwan while avoiding direct escalation. Diplomatic backchannels remain open, and there is ongoing international pressure to reduce tensions through dialogue. But time is running out. As China grows more assertive and the U.S. reinforces its commitments in the Indo-Pacific, strategic patience is thinning on both sides. The second Trump administration, widely expected to take a harder stance on China, could further inflame tensions if policies shift toward confrontation over containment. The global stakes. A war in the Taiwan Strait would be catastrophic not only for Taiwan and China but for global trade, technology, and stability. The Taiwan Strait is a vital commercial route, with nearly 50% of the world's container ships passing through it annually. Moreover, Taiwan is home to TSMC, the world's leading producer of semiconductors, essential for everything from smartphones to military hardware. A full-blown conflict would likely draw in multiple powers, especially if US forces are attacked or Taiwan is invaded. The fallout would be economically devastating and could trigger a wider war in the Indo-Pacific, potentially even World War III. All eyes on Washington and Beijing. Much of what happens next depends on how Washington and Beijing navigate the growing tensions. The Biden administration, and potentially the returning Trump administration, face a delicate balancing act, projecting strength without tipping into open warfare. The U.S. continues to expand defense cooperation with Taiwan, approve arms sales, and conduct military exercises with regional partners like Japan, the Philippines, and Australia. Meanwhile, China has significantly increased its military budget, building up its naval capabilities, cyber warfare units, and long-range missile systems. China's rapid naval expansion means it could outnumber U.S. warships in the region within the next few years. The People's Liberation Army Navy, PLAN, is now the largest navy in the world by number of vessels, many of which are stationed near Taiwan. Despite these developments, both superpowers are aware of the enormous cost of war. China's economy, which relies heavily on exports, could collapse under Western sanctions. The U.S., too, could face casualties, economic shocks, and a strained military stretched across multiple global commitments. Regional players brace for impact. In addition to the U.S. and China, regional countries are also preparing for the worst. Japan, under threat from China's growing presence in the East China Sea, has increased its defense budget and coordinated more closely with U.S. forces. The Philippines has granted expanded base access to American troops and has publicly condemned Chinese harassment of Filipino vessels. Australia, though geographically distant, has committed naval resources to the region as part of its alliance obligations and to preserve global maritime order. Across the region, there is a shared understanding: any military clash in the Taiwan Strait will not remain local. It will have global implications, drawing in countries politically, economically, and militarily, setting the stage for one of the most dangerous periods in recent history. The presence of U.S. and Allied war fleets in the Taiwan Strait is a powerful signal to China, but it is also a dangerous gamble. Both sides are escalating, and the margin for error is narrowing. While diplomacy may still hold the key to peace, the current trajectory suggests that the world is inching dangerously close to a major military confrontation.